Hey everybody and welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into something that's probably crossed your mind if you've ever had to call a plumber or an electrician. You know, those essential home services we all need at some point.
Exactly.
We're talking about private equity and their recent, kind of surprising push into the world of, well, leaky faucets and busted furnaces.
Right, like when you think high finance, you don't usually picture a guy in a van with a wrench.
Exactly. But get this, since 2022, almost 800 home service businesses, from plumbing to HVAC, have been bought up by these private equity firms. 800. So we gotta ask, what's the deal with Wall Street suddenly wanting a piece of our local handyman?
Well, to start, home services are considered a pretty safe bet, financially speaking. Think about it, whether the economy's booming or the stock market's in a free fall.
People still need their toilets fixed.
Exactly. It's reliable revenue, and that's what these firms are after. But where it gets interesting is what happens after the sale, both for the business owners and for us, the customers. Right, because it's not always some corporate raider swooping in, right? Take Aaron Rice. He ran his own plumbing business for years, sold it to a PE-backed company, and now he manages it for them.
And his story is pretty telling. Under the new ownership, his revenue doubled in just a couple of years. Now, that could be great news for him and his employees.
More money. Who doesn't love that?
Sure, but is everyone getting a bigger slice of the pie? See, private equity, they're all about maximizing profits. They come in, they often bring expertise, maybe streamline operations, pump up the marketing.
So it's like they're trying to turn your local plumber into like a well-oiled money-making machine.
In a way, yeah. And that can mean higher wages, bonuses, better benefits for the workers. Sounds good on paper, right?
Sure, but there's got to be a catch, right? Like, where's all that extra cash coming from?
That's the million-dollar question. Are those savings being passed on to us, the customers? Or are prices going up to satisfy those investors? That's where things get a little murky.
Yeah, because the last thing you want is your already pricey plumbing bill to double because some hotshot investor wants a new yacht.
Right. Plus, there's the concern about pressure on workers. Are they now being pushed to upsell, maybe even recommend services that aren't really necessary, just to meet those ambitious profit goals?
Man, it's like suddenly getting your sink fixed is as stressful as, I don't know, buying a used car. And the thing is, it's not so black and white. We talked to folks like Dana Spears, who sold her HVAC business to a PE firm, in part to protect her employees' jobs because competition was so fierce.
She saw it as the best way to secure their future in this changing landscape. But then you have guys like Rick Walter, sold his company, kept a stake in it, and now he's enjoying a comfortable retirement.
So is he the norm or the exception?
Exactly. And that's where it gets really interesting. Because as Brian Rassel, he's a big name in the private equity world, once said, entrepreneurial success isn't just a Silicon Valley thing anymore.
So this isn't just some Wall Street scheme, it's happening in our neighborhoods.
Right. And it speaks to the fact that home services are a growing essential part of our economy. But how do we ensure that growth benefits everyone?
That's the big question, because the next time you call a plumber, it might not just be a local business on the other end of the line. It might be a multi-billion-dollar private equity firm. So how do we, as consumers, make sure we're getting fair prices and that the people doing the work, the plumbers, the electricians, are being treated fairly too? Is this model sustainable? Is it good for local communities?
It's definitely something to think about.
It sure is. And we want to hear from you. Head over to our website and let us know your thoughts on this whole private equity home services thing. Is it a recipe for disaster or a sign of the times? We'll be right back after this quick break. Don't go away.